he almost penetrated me, but it didn't happen.
Who cares? Let's go to court. It's my business. We'll post it. And when they come, he wants to do DNA test for his daughters. They are ready.
I almost didn't release this. What you're about to hear took a lot of thought before being shared. There are parts of this story many people have seen, and other parts most people have not yet connected. Earlier, a short video clip circulated online. This video was released by Very Dark Man, popularly known as VDM. It was a very brief moment, but one filled with deep emotion. In that clip, a young lady, identified as Chi, said to be Pastor Chris Okafor's daughter, spoke words that shocked many and left viewers asking one question: what pain could lead someone to speak like that? Since then, another recording has surfaced, an audio, longer, heavier, and more detailed, allegedly connected to the same situation. I will play that audio shortly, but before I do, understand this. Once you hear it, you may begin to see the earlier clip differently. This is not content to rush through. It is not content to laugh at, and it is not content to judge quickly. Some viewers may feel uncomfortable, some may feel confused, and some may feel there is more here than meets the eye. I am sharing this not to accuse anyone, but because silence also tells a story. Please listen carefully all the way through to the end. There are things said here that only make sense when you hear everything. Viewers' discretion is advised. Now, listen to the audio and decide for yourself.
Alright, so what is your name?
My name is Chi Okafor, the daughter of Pastor Chris Okafor, the founder of Liberation City, Ojodu-Beka.
So, Mr. Okafor, you reached out to me when this whole stories of other things happening, and then you said you have a lot of things to say about your father.
It took me so much courage to come here. I can't believe he had to resort to me coming to talk about the man that brought me into this world, my own father. Sometimes I wish I had the blood of an animal running through my veins instead of his own.
Calm down. Calm
down. God is really merciful. God is a merciful God. Because when I see him still climbing on that altar to preach, considering the things that he does to us, his daughters, before and after he climbs the altar.
Calm down. You know, when you're crying, you will not really be clear as to what you're saying. Nobody will really understand. I mean, you've told me about it, so I can understand why you're crying, but you just have to not cry so that the people can hear what you have to say.
My name is Precious Chidera Okafor. The daughter of Prophet Dr. Chris Okafor. I used to live with him years ago, and I left around 2020. Yes, I left around 2020 because things were about to get out of hand. While I was living in the house, amongst all my siblings, I'm the only one from my mother, while the four of them are from a different mom. While I was living in the house, I used to get treated unfairly, like it was very, very visible, and even the workers in the house could see it. And one evening, he called me to his room that he wanted to speak to me. And after I went in, he was, standing behind the door, and then he locked the door and he said I should sit down, and I sat on his bed and he started speaking to me. He started telling me that he knows that I always feel bad because of how he treats me differently from my siblings, but he's only doing that because he loves me, and he wishes that fathers could marry their daughters, that he would have gotten married to me. And that was when he started to touch me all over my body. And in that moment, I was sitting very still and frozen because I could not really understand what was going on. And that was how we continued. On different occasions, he would call me. Like another time, he called me and then he locked the door again, and then he started trying to kiss me all over on my lips and all over my body. And it felt like I was quiet for a long time because for me, as at that time, I was somebody that was so desperately seeking the validation of my father. I was alone in the house. I didn't have any, like, siblings of my own. So the fact that he was, talking to me, at least, like, for me, all I was thinking about at that time was, okay, if this is going to at least make my dad talk to me, if this is going to make him treat me equally and fairly, then okay. And there was a day I had a terrible dream, and as a man of God that he is, I went to meet him so we would pray together. And that was the night that he almost penetrated me, but it didn't happen. I think he saw how scared I was and how I was sweaty and shaky on the bed. So he said I could leave, and I left. And that was when I was able to use a teacher's phone in school, and I decided to tell my mom about all that was going on. Then the next week or a few days after, she came to get me from the house, and that was how I left.
How old were
And
you then?
I was about 14, 15 years old at that time.
Wow. So when you told your mom, what did she do about it?
She cried so much, and she was serving at that time. She was I think she was in the northern state, so she had to come back, like she had to come down. And mind you, I don't know if I should put this out there, but he also forcefully had his way with my mom when she was 15. That was how she was pregnant. That was how she got pregnant.
You raped your mom?
Yes.
You were born out of rape?
Yes, out of wedlock, yes.
Wow.
When she was just 15, she used to attend this church and she was in the choir. So that was how he knew her, and that was how he raped her.
So who pays your school fees? Like, who pays your school fees, saw you through school?
Presently, everything has been my mom. Since I left his house, I haven't spoken to him. He hasn't reached out. He tried to reach out once. He called me one evening, but he wasn't saying anything. Basically, he was sounding so prideful and asking me why I also did not reach out to him, that the phone works both ways, and the conversation did not lead anywhere. It was just that one call in the whole of 5 years, and that happened in the beginning of this year. That was when he tried to call me.
Does your mom try to go to him and take money from him for your upkeep or for your school fees?
Never. The only time she did that was when I was still with her, before I fully moved in into my father's house. When I was with her, and she would go to meet him that, oh, she wants to pay my school fees, she wants to do this for me. And she opened up to me last year that that the reason why she's so bitter towards my father is because he treated her like an object. Like, all the times that she would come to the house to come and ask for school fees or ask for anything, he would try to have his way with her. Other times, I don't know. I don't want to say what I'm not sure of. I don't know if she agrees, because she never said that, but she told me every single time she would go to try and get my school fees, he's always trying to have his way with her, and he's always forceful about it.
So anytime she goes to ask him for your upkeep, he tries to sleep with her, and sometimes he tries to even rape her.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
And while living in the house, countless times, even as a child, I did not really understand it. But growing up, I saw how that rejection made me feel. There are countless times he would take I and my sister Marachi to go and run DNA tests. And even if he runs the test and he sees that we are his children, he still tells people and just like says it that we are not his children for some reason. And I don't really know what his reason is. Tells everybody that, I'm not his child.
Wow. How old are you now?
I'm 20.
Okay. Anyways, we'll keep in touch. We'll keep in touch with you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Now, Pastor Masolopara, if you listen to this call that I had with this girl, now this call was on the 22nd of December at around 7:05 p.m. was when we had this call. Now, listen to it properly. What you are trying to use as a defense and as a damage control, the DNA test, that these are not his kids, he has been using it since against these kids. They have gone to do several DNA tests and he's their father, right?
What we have just listened to is not easy. It is the kind of audio that stays in your mind. It makes you pause. It makes you breathe deeply. This is not something you hear and just move on like that. It touches sensitive places, family, faith, trust, and truth. If this audio is truly from a daughter speaking about her own life, then it is deeply painful. A child speaking out is never a small thing. It usually comes from a place of hurt, confusion, or emotional struggle.
If I post everything, nobody will be in your church. And like she said, I don't even know how you still stand on the altar to preach. Thinking about everything I experienced that she shared, the testimony from your other daughter in Canada, the other one, you are.
At the same time, we must be careful. Careful not to rush to conclusions. Careful not to turn pain into gossip. Careful not to destroy lives with words before truth is finally known. This situation reminds us that every story has layers. What we hear may be one side. There may be other sides we do not yet understand. But one thing is certain, something is wrong somewhere when such an audio exists at all. Faith leaders are human beings. They have families, they have private lives, and sometimes those private lives carry problems the public never sees. This does not mean that faith is fake. It does not mean God has failed. It means people can fail. And when people fail, silence often follows. But silence does not heal wounds. Silence allows pain to grow. If the claim in this audio are not true, then the truth must be spoken with clarity and evidence. Truth has nothing to fear. Truth does not need shouting. It needs light. If the claims are true, then denial will only deepen the damage. Healing begins with honesty. Healing begins with listening, especially when the voice is young and hurting. Children do not speak out easily. They fear shame, they fear rejection, they fear not being believed. So when a child speaks, whether rightly or wrongly, it must be handled with wisdom, not anger. This is not a time for mockery. This is not a time for insults or online abuse. This is not time to use the situation for clout or attention. This is a time to ask hard questions quietly and respectfully. How do we protect families? How do we protect children? How do we protect the truth without destroying lives? Religion should never be a shield for wrongdoing, but it should also never be a weapon to destroy someone without proof. Balance is needed, wisdom is needed, patience is needed. Many people watching this may feel confused. Some may feel disappointed. Some may feel very angry. Others may feel heartbroken. All those emotions are valid. But let us remember, social media does not know the full truth. Viral videos do not always carry justice, and public opinion is not the same as reality. Behind this audio are real people, a real daughter, a real father, a real family, and real consequences. Words spoken today will echo tomorrow, so let us choose them carefully. If investigations are needed, let them be done properly. If explanations are needed, let them be given calmly. If apologies are needed, let them be sincere. And if healing is needed, let it begin without pride. Pain should not be hidden, but pain should not be exploited. May this moment teach us compassion. May it teach leaders accountability. May it teach family openness, and may it teach viewers responsibility. We pray for clarity, we pray for protection, we pray for truth, not rumors. And we pray for healing for everyone involved. No matter what the final truth is, remember this: human dignity matters, justice matters, and truth always matters. Thank you for staying and listening. May light overcome darkness. May peace replace confusion. And may truth, in the end, speak for itself.